Hey everyone, it's Victoria here. Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are doing well. It's that time of year again, so happy holidays to you all. So today I am going to go over Solana versus the US dollar. Now this is a cryptocurrency pair. My husband told me about this last week and I was like, oh, okay, let me check it out. He's been trading it. Depending on the leverage that you have on your account, even 1 cent is enough, right? But if you have like a 1 to 100 or something like that, you know, 1 cent is only it's not gonna do you any good. But a 1 to 500, 1 cent on here is decent. You're not really over leveraging your account with that, and it's great. Okay, so as usual, I like to just kind of remind everyone of the patterns, right? So the market maker cycle, right? This is your bear cycle, okay? Your MAAW back in a range, and then V, it's not pretty, and then back in a range, right? So as you can see, guys, I believe this is where this one started, right? It looks like it, okay? And this was Sunday, it's last week Sunday. With cryptocurrency, you see this black line, guys? This is your psychological support and resistance, okay? So this indicator is available to you all today once the market's like officially open, right? For the regular Forex, this will redraw, this will disappear and the new lines will start to draw, okay, wherever the market opens, whatever price is. So all this is the high, okay, of the week and then the low of the week. So it's very important, okay? So as we all know, price always comes back, right? It always comes back to these levels. So as you can see, guys, we had a beautiful bull run last week for the whole week. You know, the cycle lasts between 3 to 5 days. And this was typically a good 5 days, okay? All right, and then right here is where it went and reversed, okay? Right there. So now we had the big drop in crypto and pretty much everything at the end of last week. So also the cycle can complete really quickly with news, right? So as long as you have an idea of where you are in the cycle, that's where you want to trade. Like you don't want to go, I mean, you get lucky sometimes when you're trading against a trend, but when it's news time, then you're not going to get that lucky trying to trade against a trend. There's no room here to go long when this thing was clearly short and it's just dropping for like 2 days, right? Oh, make that 3 days. So that was, that's that with the news, right? All it does is just move the cycle faster, right? So now it looks like based on, where price is at now that we're looking to go long again. It's definitely not ready. I'm not going to go long just yet, but I'm definitely going to look to go long, when I show up at the market. Okay. Now, another thing that I have on here that I think is helpful, I use it. It's that work time indicator that you guys, this is the main BTTM indicator, guys. So I like to use it to show when the market opens for New York and for London, right? I'm not typically awake for London because I'm going to sleep or I'm already asleep. It happens around 11 p.m. my time. And so if I was to do that, I would be awake all night, like, right? And, I don't want to do that. So I normally wake up around 2:30 in the morning, sometimes 3, but I get to the charts maybe 3:30 or 4 in the morning, right? So I like to identify that on my chart. So for me, I believe it's around here, I think on this, I'm not going to count this is the weekend, right? So for me, should be around here, about 1400 on the actual chart when I show up, right? So it could be anywhere from 14 to 15. And as you can see, guys, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. This little thing is in my way. As you can see, that's like at least a couple hours before the New York market open, which is highlighted right here, okay? And I think that's fair enough, right, in terms of enough time. But if I do get up a little bit early and show up at least one more hour, then absolutely I can jump in on this trade. I know that I'm looking at the 1 hour. I know that I'm going short based on, these areas that have been highlighted up here. Okay, so I apologize for the background noise if you guys can hear that. I just have my window open. And it's a little bit noisy out there today, but it is a beautiful Sunday at that, right? So I totally need to get out myself. So the other things that I have here on my chart, now, these peak formation indicators, if you have the trading journal, if you purchase that, that is a part of that package. And for everything else, it is available free in the Telegram, okay? Just like the work time indicators available, the supply and demand indicators available for free too. It's right here. Now I have basically everything set to true. I did have it to draw the edge price. This is completely optional. I usually don't have it on there, but I just wanted you guys to see that it is available there if that's something that you want. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. For me, I have the strong support and strong demand in that slate gray color, right? I know this is super strong. And when it retouches, that's when I want it to turn on either red or green. That's when the retouch, because oftentimes that retouch, guys, that is your third tap to the high, or maybe your second tap, for that second leg or whatnot. But yeah, that's literally what I want that for, right? So when I see that we have this strong SNR, and I always call support and supply and demand, support and resistance. I just call it SNR. I just keep it simple. That's what I call it. So on Friday, if I was to wake up and I mark my time that I was here and I'm looking at the 1 hour and I'm like, okay, we're going down today, right? I'm looking to do nothing but to sell this market, right? Sometimes I hop in right there. Like I have no reason not to. I mean, obviously, look at, it's just strong SNR all day right here. So there's no reason for me not to want to hop into this right there when I wake up, right? If I do that, right? If I hop in when I wake up and I come to the charts, my TP, guys, my TP is now depending on which one, like if, see how close the 200 and the 800 are, right? That's super close, right? These are super close. Obviously, none of this has happened yet. All I can see is right here where this is all I can see, right? There's a 200, 800. So my TP would be here at the 800. If I didn't see this 800, then my TP would be the 200. That's where I would take profits at, right? And that's enough, right? Because I don't know what's going to happen in New York. Sometimes the reversal for New York is pretty deep. But Friday was, not only did everything fall because of the news, but it was also, what is that? Non-farm, right? So usually when the market is falling or rising, it's just going to go, it's going to fall hard or it's going to rise hard, and it's going to be all day long, right? So at New York, once the reversal was done, or once it took my profit, I could have went back in if I wanted to, right? And continue to ride this market down. And I would have taken this all the way down to the psychological level, right? Because remember, let me zoom out, right? So these lines are automatically drawing. This is your high and low for the week, right? So I also use this as my areas of taking profit as well, right? Because price is coming back here. It just is, you just know it, right? So that's what I would have done, right? If I've held this one, or if I took this trade and held it on, right? So, I mean, I literally, my husband had been trading this pair, all last week. And then he told me about it. He kept telling me about it, but I wasn't even listening. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Okay. Because my thing is, if I'm trading crypto, I had stopped trading crypto for a while because it's so accessible, right? And then I would find myself trading all the time, which you don't really want to do. You want to set limits, right? And when you show up at the market, how often you're trading, your rules. You do want to set those limits so that you can practice being consistent. You can practice knowing reasons why you got into trades, when you know why you won, why you lost. That's very important. But if you're over trading, it doesn't work. Like, you stop doing those little things that you should be doing because you're over trading, you're chasing the market and all that stuff. So you don't want to do that. Okay. So that's why I had to stop trading crypto. But I just saw this pattern and I'm like, man, I need to do these. I need to trade this pair because it just moves nicely. Okay. It just moves nicely. So I'm going to start trading this week. So right now, this looks like this puppy's going to be going long. And I'm going to show up when I normally show up. I'm not going to trade today, right? This afternoon, I'm going to trade my normal time when I show up at the markets at, what is that? 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning, my time. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. So I talked about the pattern, as you remember, the cycle. Let me just do that real quick, just in case. We have the market maker cycle. And I'm probably not being too generous. Maybe it should more so be like this, right? Okay, let me clear that. This is ugly, y'all, but that's that bull cycle. And then we had a pretty quick bear cycle because, one, like I said, we had some news and we also had non-farm. All right, so all this is news moving the cycle faster, right? So remember, 3 to 5 days, right? So if it happens in 3 days, don't be surprised if it takes 5 or 10. Sometimes it can be 10 plus days sometimes, right? But just know that, this is just going to be a bigger, right? It's just going to be a bigger WVVM. It's just going to be extra long because you're going to have the consolidation, right? It's just going to be extra, right? So just remember that. So you have to kind of train your brain to see this pattern, right? So that you can know where you are in the cycle and you can trade along with the trend. Okay. That's what you want to do, because yeah, you can come in here. I guess I'll go ahead and break this. Let me go ahead and let me change this. No, it's not. Let me turn that off. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. So again, H1 to know where you are. You can also go to H4 as well if you want to. But oftentimes I do go to H1 to kind of get an idea of where I'm at. And then my entries are usually taking place in M15. Now you can also go down to M5, right? Sometimes, you can get a really, really good entry with M5. Let me, I can't, okay, there we go. And this was Friday. This was December the 3rd. Let's look back. There we go. All right. And so you could have come here and again, you can see that the trend is short, right? We already know that. We've established that from H1, and all we're doing based on when you come in, because again, this is when I come into the market, I can go ahead. Like I said, if I see that this thing is already down, I probably would have entered this from H1, right? However, you can drop down to the 5-minute, 15-minute, and then you can wait for your entry from here. So some people would have come here and they would have probably entered right here, as you can see with the cross of the 13 and the 50. So I'm going to add the 5. I don't even use the 5, guys. This is the multi-EMA. It's also available for you. So if you do use the 5 and 13, which is also a good entry, you can get in sooner. If this is something that you need to have on there, you can, right? So you can use this as well to help you to get into the market, right? This still looks good to me right there. Let me go to the 15-minute. Still looks good. Where am I? Oh, went too far back. There we go. Look at that. Still a beautiful entry. But this, guys, I mean, totally no-brainer entry, because just because of where price is at the high, and it already gave you the first, like this happened pretty much the previous session, the day before, right? This was on the 2nd of December. It already kind of gave you a heads up here that we're going down and you're looking for that second leg. So that was the first leg. Usually when you see this, that is your first leg, right? Now there is one more entry that I'm missing here. I think it's the beast. I don't know why I don't have it on here, but it is available for everyone that has the journal as well. There's the beast indicator that also kind of helps you to know where you are. Like after the peak shows up, the beast is going to show up, and that's going to also help, right, with your entries if you need help. But this, guys, is like, this is picture perfect. You don't need anything else apart from just that, right? Your entries right there. You can even enter, you see that green arrow, get a little bit of a discount, right? You can enter, not the green arrow, sorry, the green candle, enter that right there, okay? And then again, this is M15. So like I mentioned, guys, on H1, I believe on H1, this is, before I start to lie, this is probably the 200 on H1. Let's go look. Yep, show is, look at that. It's the 200 on H1. So if I was on the 15-minute on this, that's your first TP, okay, right? And then you could have been done for the day, but because this is crypto, you can keep going. And like I mentioned earlier, I would have held this all the way until the peak, the psychological support and resistance. So I wouldn't have even panicked on this. So from there, you can totally hold it down to here, or you can put your 2 orders in, you know, whatever is comfortable for you, right? However you trade, you know, first TP could be here, and then your second TP could be down here, okay? And that's how I look at this crypto. That's how I'm going to trade this crypto this week. I'm excited because this has some really super clear patterns, and that's what I like. You know, I can't stand it when I'm looking at stuff like, if this thing, like remember earlier, I was like, oh, it's, oh, let me take that off, sorry. I was like, oh, it was consolidating, like all this right here. Like I would have been like frustrated with that. I mean, obviously there's probably some good trades in here, I'm not gonna lie, right? But I like it when price comes out of the range and really just, you know, gives us those moves, like right here when it pinned at the 200 and it just dropped. It's beautiful moves, right? So that is it, guys. I mean, the other thing that I want to encourage you all to do is to, if you're not already doing it, I mean, of course, these indicators are great, but the best indicator obviously is your eyes, right? Really working on identifying these patterns so that you know that you're trading with the trend, understanding, you know, between the 5th day, 3 to 5 days, it could possibly, this could automatically go all the way to the high, right? Like this did, it went all the way down to the low in a couple of days, right? So just keep that in mind. And my dog is making more noise right now, so sounds like she's wanting some attention now. But guys, that's pretty much it. Practice using your eyes, minimizing the amount of indicators that are on your charts so that you can trade with a clear mind and focus. All right. All right. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Again, you know, these indicators are available in the chat. You can, you know, let me know if you're not in the chat or whatnot. Make sure you grab them, use them. And that will be it for now. We will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.